The review of Chelsea's 1-0 win over Perth Glory in their first pre-season game ahead of the 2018-19 season, my thoughts on the performance, the goal, the players, the system, Maurizio Sarri, etc. Plus a small segment of the transfer show at the end, so definitely make sure you stick around until the end of the video. Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my review of the first Chelsea pre-season game ahead of the 2018-19 season, Chelsea's 1-0 win over Perth Glory. The first of 4 real pre-season games with the Community Shield in between. We will be doing reviews and just coverage on all of them, so if you don't want to miss out on any of that, do make sure you subscribe as well. But now getting into the game and starting it off with the lineup. And we lined up in a 4-3-3 and it was amazing. Just when I saw that I was happy. Marcin Bulka was in goal, obviously with Thibaut Courtois and Willian Caballero still being away on holidays after the World Cup. The 18-year-old Polish youth goalkeeper, it was Davide Zappacosta and Marcos Alonso as the 2 fullbacks, with David Luiz and Ethan Amparo as 2 centre-backs. Then in the 3-man midfield it was Jorginho as the deepest of the 3 as the Regista, with Fabregas and Ross Barkley as the other 2. And then on the 2 wings it was Callum Hudson-Odoi on the left, with Pedro starting on the right and Alvaro Morata starting up front. Like I just mentioned, Courtois and Caballero, a lot of our players aren't even with the squad yet due to their holiday after the World Cup. Like I said, Courtois, although who knows whether he will return, probably not. Willian Caballero, Moses, Omere, who was on loan last year but is obviously a Chelsea player, Christensen, Azpilicueta, Cahill, Kante, Loftus-Cheek, Willian, Hazard, Batshuayi, Giroud, none of them are with the squad yet. But still, when I saw the lineup, when I saw the formation, I got excited and I was very much looking forward to the game. And boy, it didn't take long for us to get the first goal. Just 5 minutes in and Pedro made it 1-0 following a quality assist by Callum Hudson-Odoi, absolutely making a fool out of the defender, a beautiful cross and then a nice first time volley touch to place the ball into the net from only a few yards out by Pedro. But it actually stayed at 1-0 until half time, but the performance was very good and very nice to watch. Created some big and some smaller chances as well, especially Fabregas and Pedro had 2 big chances to increase the scoreline before half time with a tiny bit of more luck, but we dominated possession, we dominated the game, and of course, Perth Glory, as you could expect, set very, very deep, trying to make it as difficult as possible for us. And a lot of players played a very, very good first half. New boy Jorginho was outstanding. His touch and his passing, top notch. His movement and his eye for the game, very impressive. And well and truly putting his mark on the game. But also says Fabregas and Ross Barkley, the other 2 in midfield, had very good performances. Fabregas moving very well, some top class passes. Barkley showing some pace and strength on a number of occasions as well. And Callum Hudson-Odoi, jeez, his first half was... jeez, he was good, bloody hell. Showing his pace, skill, determination throughout the first half, and also Pedro with the goal and some other good moments as well. But it wasn't just them, also Davide Zappacosta did well in the first half, showing his pace, not really completing his crosses, which is always the kind of issue I have with him. We weren't really tested defensively, which is basically the Zappacosta's other issue, at least the issue I have with him. Obviously then that goes for Amparo and David Luiz as well, and the goalkeeper. But, their passing from the back was good for David Luiz and Amparo, so that was quite good. But the weak links in the team in the first half was certainly Marcos Alonso, who, and I still stand by that, is too slow to play as a left back. He does have a good shot in him, he does have a good pass and a good cross in him as well. But that's just useless if you're not in the right positions when you need to be there, basically, because you're too slow. And also, Alvaro Morata. Like I said, Perth set very deep with a back 5, which makes things difficult for any striker. But Morata's passing and his touch wasn't great. He had a few almost moments and half chances, where he just lacked a tiny bit of pace or a bit of strength. And it just wasn't a great performance by him in the first half at all. Then going into the second half, as expected, Maurizio Sarri made quite a few changes, with Emerson, Bakayoko and Pasalic coming on for Alonso, Jorginho and Hudson-Odoi. That then meant Ross Barkley moving out to the left wing position actually, Fabregas dropping into Jorginho's deep Regista role, Pasalic filling Fabregas' role in the first half, so on the right of the centre midfield 3, and then Bakayoko on the left of the centre midfield 3, and obviously Emerson just replaced Alonso at left back. And we did create a few more chances in the second half actually. Very early in the first half, Barkley had a good chance from a quick attack, actually scuffed his shot badly but still hit the post when he actually should have just played Morata in, who made a good run and was in a very good position on Barkley's stride and more than likely would have scored unless he obviously bottled the finish. Then after 60 minutes we made some more substitutions when Tammy Abraham came on to replace Morata while Thomas Callas came on to replace Amparo. A very good chance for Abraham just a few minutes after he came on, using his body very well but hitting his effort straight at the keeper annoyingly, and also Fabregas and Pasalic hit the post in the few minutes around that chance and around the substitutions, making actually 3 times of hitting the frame of the goal in that game. Then Barkley had another big chance, a sitter you could say almost, with around 70 minutes played. The ball just fell to him like just outside the 6-yard area, I think, and he just couldn't get his footing right, his feet right, basically, and just put it wide, and he really should have done better. And also around the 70-minute mark, both Lucas Piazon and Ola Aina came on to replace Pedro and David Zappacosta, and Charlie Musonda came on a little bit later for Ross Barkley, and Musonda then slotted in onto the right wing side and Piazon on the left. Then we create another big chance, this time for Piazon. Very well done by Tammy Abraham there to hold off the player and square it to Piazon. But he just didn't get enough power and precision on his shot, and it made for a fairly easy save for the keeper, really. And in all honesty, by then, that was around 75-80 minutes play. It really should have been 3 or 4, if not more, to be honest. At the very end, Perth Glory actually created some half chances, especially from a corner. They had a header that just dropped just a tiny bit wide of the post, so almost, scored a goal there. But obviously, that also came from the tiredness, the jet lag, the long travel to Australia, and also tough double training sessions every day. And that obviously started to kick in at Chelsea, and you could see the tiredness towards the end of the game. But at the end of the day, it ended in victory for Chelsea, a 1-0 victory in our first pre-season game ahead of the upcoming season. And it was good, especially the first half. But what we did at the end, that wasn't Sarri ball anymore. Like, that really wasn't. That reminded me more of last season, sitting off the opposition while dropping deeper and deeper. But like I said, in my opinion, that was mostly down to tiredness. The second half generally wasn't anywhere near as good to watch as the first half, but we actually created more chances in the second half than we did in the first half. But in my opinion, that was mainly down to Perth Glory realising that they need to close down midfield more rather than, just closing down the middle at the back. And that's what they did. So that's why, we struggle to play as nicely, I suppose, and also making substitutions. Of course, that makes a difference as well. But yeah, we created more chances, but it wasn't anywhere near as nice and as good, really, overall in the second half. And Sarri put it exactly like that as well after the game in the press conference when he said, good in the first half, not so much in the second half, lost a lot between the defenders and the midfielders. We have to improve quickly. And I completely agree. But it was also so obvious to see that not having Jorginho on the pitch made a huge difference in how close we were able to get to what Sarri wants to see from the team. Generally, making a lot of changes will make a difference in your performance, but, especially that Jorginho and Fabregas combination in the first half was an absolute beaut to watch. But it's only natural. Jorginho knows Sarri. The other players don't. So, of course, when Jorginho is playing, it's closer to what Sarri wants than when he isn't playing. But the others will get there as well eventually. It just takes a little bit of time. Of course, changing the system and changing your formation, this drastically takes time. That's just what it is. It doesn't happen from one night to the other. But I want to praise a few things about the first half, not just individual players, but overall about the system, about Sarri and the way we play. The way we immediately went to win the ball back as soon as we lost it, the way we pressed, how we refused to kick the ball long, with only 1 or 2 exceptions maybe, but kept the ball, played it out, went under pressure at the back and started an attack, was seriously impressive. Like, that's exactly what I want to see. And also, there was one moment I really enjoyed when we won the ball back at the edge of our own box and started an attack, and on the touchline you could just see Sarri, basically gesturing to the whole team to move up the pitch quickly, to just get things going and start the attack. And I just love to see it, because it's not just counter-attacking. Yes, it's quick and it's a quick attack, but it's not just like 3 players run and you try to attack and, all the others stay back. That's not what Sarri does. You try to play it out, you try to pass your way through. Fabregas and Jorginho in the first half, 1-2 touch passing constantly, so much movement out to the wide position as well, especially Zappacosta did well in that, making a lot of runs. Alonso, like I said, lacking a little bit of pace. That's also why, in my opinion, Hudson-Odoi dropped out wider than Pedro did, because Zappacosta covered that right-hand side. And Alonso didn't know that much, but generally the first half was just great to watch. Could have scored 2 or 3 in the first half, but, it was just good to watch. And obviously it will only get better, even though it was, of course, only Perth Glory. Positives from the second half were certainly Emerson, who gave us a whole new dimension going forward down that left-hand side compared to Alonso. I mean, Emerson did get done once or twice at the back, but Alonso really didn't get tested at the back because Perth Glory basically didn't attack in the first half. So it would be harsh on Emerson to say Alonso did better defensively. And also Tammy Abraham looked quite good. He used his body well, was trying really hard, pressing. He's a tall guy, used his body well, seems very good with his feet. Not that that's a huge surprise, but obviously we just saw it again in this game. So, he did well as well. And I still stand by what I said throughout the first half. Jorginho and Fabregas, in the first half especially, Ross Barkley and Hudson-Odoi were certainly the most impressive performance of the day, in my opinion. Also shouted to David Luiz and says Fabregas, who both played the whole 90 minutes of the game, and as the oldest players in the squad, I think they are anyway, Pedro is around their age as well. Fair play to them for it, especially David Luiz, basically didn't play last season. To play 90 minutes today, and obviously Fabregas playing in 2 different positions and roles as well. Fair play to them. But like I said earlier, we probably should have won by 3 or 4, if not more, and just should have been more clinical, like we definitely should have. But it's early in pre-season, it's our first game of pre-season. But I still stand by praising our first half performance. Of course, it was was only Perth Glory, but we also only had 1 week of training on Mauricio Sarri, a 24-hour trip to Australia, jet lag, and a lot of intense training sessions. So I think it was good. We will only get better. And in my opinion, it was a good start to pre-season. Of course, Inter next Saturday will be more difficult, but I also expect us to have made another step forward by then. But also some of the players will return from their holidays after the World Cup as well, I'm pretty sure. Now that was really it about the game, and now before finishing off this video, let's mention some transfer news. And the Italian media reported yet again that Regista joining Chelsea is close to happening, but at the same time Regista was included in Juve's pre-season squad in the USA, so I doubt it's very, very close. I still think we're likely to sign him, but not in the next few days, I don't think. Other than that, that's only really the whole Willian saga that we touched upon in the stream last night already. And, you know, there obviously were the reports of the £67 million offer by Barcelona that no one really knew was it real, because I couldn't find it anywhere on Sky Italy, but a lot of people said it came from Sky Italy, so I'm like, not sure where you got that from. But now it's some other sources as well that talk about a £65 million offer for Willian by Barcelona, and that Chelsea are considering it, not that they've accepted it like it was kind of said yesterday already. And on transfers, post-match, Sarri was also asked about keeping the likes of Courtois, Willian and Hazard at the club, which the boss replied to, "It doesn't only depend on me, but I am confident." A difficult statement to read much into, but make of it what you will, I suppose. He did reiterate again that he wants face-to-face conversations with all of those players, as he much prefers that to contacting them on the phone. But yeah, that's really it from me. Leave me all of your thoughts on the game, and also the tiny bit of transfer news that I mentioned at the end down in the comment section below. Well, who were your best performers of the day? I mentioned mine. You know, compare the first half and the second half. Leave it all down in the comment section below. And also don't forget to drop a like down below. I'd massively appreciate that. Of course, I didn't mention a like target at the beginning, but let's see whether we can hit 500 likes. We would massively appreciate that. Also, don't forget to check out my social media, which is Laos1507 on both Instagram and Twitter, as you can see over here. And also the links to them are both down in the description below. So I'd massively appreciate it if you could follow me there. I'm not far away of 2,000 followers on Twitter, and not far off 1,000 followers on Instagram. So if you could follow me, I would massively appreciate that. And of course, it is YouTube. I kind of have to say it. If you haven't already, do make sure you subscribe to 100% Chelsea if you haven't already. And also don't forget to click the notification bell button and choose to be notified about all uploads. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea. And I'll see you next time.